What's up, everyone? Hope everyone's having a great 4th of July weekend. We're going to throw a 4th of July hero workout to you. It is called the Unknown Heroes. It is a workout that was written by a local CrossFitter to Columbus, Ohio. So pretty cool workout for me to do here as a native Ohioan. But it is 21 of a whole lot of movements. Go ahead and we'll look down in the bio. We'll throw it up on the screen, wherever it is. Read through that. You're going to definitely need to write it up on the whiteboard while you're doing the workout to make sure you know where you're going and what you're doing. But the theme of the workout, or the reason behind it, is the unknown heroes are everyone goes to war with a name, but not everybody comes home, and not everybody is able to come back with a name. So there's sometimes those heroes that are lost, those people that are lost, and nobody knows what happened to them, their bodies aren't recovered, those kind of things. For more information on why this is called the Unknown Heroes workout, go ahead and click the link in the bio. In this workout, there's a couple movements that we don't do very often. One of them is the broad jump. And I love that that's in there. I love that it's not just a box jump, although box jumps are in here. There's also a broad jump, so you're jumping for distance. So what you need to do for that is set yourself some kind of standard for how far you want to jump to count as a rep. And if you don't reach that length in your jump, then count it as a no rep, right? But the reason that I like the broad jump is not only are we training explosiveness, core to extremity explosiveness, all that good stuff that can lead to any adaptation for Olympic lifting, running, all those different things, but your body has to land and absorb that impact, right? And why is that important? On a box jump, you typically don't absorb all of your body weight in terms of coming down from the height that you jumped. You're gonna jump up onto a raised surface, and you're gonna land and pretty much just stand like you would from a squat, right? Or a partial squat. But when you're jumping horizontally and you land, your body has to absorb all the impact of your body weight. And what that can do, training that fast eccentric motion, can train your muscles in a different way that's actually going to be really good to help prevent muscle tears from running and cutting, those kind of things. So it prepares your body in a way that you might not have prepared it before, right? So again, just one more thing that we can add to the toolbox to give us a favorable adaptation in any of our training. The other movement we're going to want to take a look at is the wall walk. It's not super common in most gyms. You don't see it programmed a whole lot, but it is a very difficult movement to do, and is honestly a really great scale if somebody doesn't have handstand walks. But there's 21 of those in the workout today. This is going to be a big chunk of time spent on it. I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate a wall walk now. You're going to start down in the prone position, laying on the floor, chest to deck, with your hands on the floor just like you would a sit-up. And then I'm going to push myself back into the wall, walk my feet up the wall until I'm in a handstand position with my face facing the wall. And for the finish of the rep, or for the halfway point, I'm going to try to touch my chest or my sternum to the wall that I'm doing the wall walk on. Then I'm going to walk myself back down from the wall and go back down to the bottom of the floor in the bottom of the push-up. That's going to count as one rep. It's important that you finish it, walk all the way up and all the way out for your one rep. Don't just walk up and then kind of slide or fall off the wall to count your rep, right? Make sure you go all the way up and all the way down. The other movement that you might be unfamiliar with is a complex called a Curtis P. So it's similar to a bear complex in that you're going to do multiple movements in one movement. So one Curtis P is going to be a power clean, lunge with your left leg or right leg, lunge with the opposite leg, and then perform a shoulder to overhead. That's going to count as one rep.
All the pain and the struggle through the music, every word burning like fluid. Just a red light running right through it. I do it, I do it. For my people, for my team, for anybody trying to give a dream. Back in the day when it was just a dream. Now look at me, on top of the mountain. From the top of the mountain, yeah, we never coming down. From the top of the mountain, yeah, we fall away to the top of the mountain. Yeah, we never coming down. From the top of the mountain, from the top of the mountain.
Recap. That was dirty. One thing that I forgot to mention about at the start of the workout is every year you complete this in under the time cap, which is 45 minutes. The goal would be to add 5 pounds to the barbell. Okay, it might actually be add a couple pounds to the other movements too, the kettlebell movements, or in my case, the dumbbell movement. I stuck with the same weight that I did last year with the dumbbell / kettlebell because I made a huge jump on the barbell. So last year I did it at 95 pounds. I'll have to look at my time and hopefully get that down in the comments. And then this year I made a 25-pound jump to 115. The 95, I think I finished under 40 minutes last time, and I want to be closer to that 45-minute range, something that's going to really stress me to finish under that time cap. And so I made a big jump this year to 115, but I tell you what, I'm only making a 5-pound jump next year because that barbell made the difference in the workout, especially on like the Curtis P and some of that complex in there. And then getting back into the snatches and some of that stuff, just a long motion to move the barbell or any weight made it really difficult. But kind of scrolling back through here on how I broke some of this up. Front squats unbroken, pull-ups unbroken, sumo deadlifts unbroken, push-ups unbroken. Push presses was like 10, 6, whatever, 5. I think the wall climbs, I really took my time. I think I could have pushed the pace a little bit on that, a little bit harder, but I wanted to be fresh coming into the squat clean so I could stay fairly consistent there. And surprisingly, the squat cleans, I mean, my legs hurt, but my upper body just in that front rack position, trying to hold that upright chest, keep my midline tight, and keep my elbows nice and high, was difficult coming off those wall climbs. Your upper body's so fatigued from a lot of ground covered on the hands that it made that front rack actually burn. My upper body burned about more than the squat cleans than it did in my legs. Burpees, just stay consistent. Curtis P's, this is another one. It's a long amount of time. I definitely lost some time there, taking a little bit too much time in between reps. Probably should have sped it up a little bit. I lost track of like kind of how I typically do big chunks of reps with a barbell is I'll do like 5 fast reps, or in this case, maybe 3 or 2 fast reps, maybe 2 touch and go, and then 3 or 4 singles, and then 2 touch and go, just to try to vary that speed a little bit, get a couple reps in fast, and then that next rep immediately when the barbell drops, get on it, but do singles. Take a little bit more time, but steady singles to kind of recover, and then get back into maybe an unbroken set or a faster set. I definitely want to change that. Toes to bar, just kind of chip through them. It doesn't take a lot of time for that one. The double unders, I used a heavy rope, all 21 unbroken. Power snatches felt good, maybe 1 or 2 unnecessary long rests. The broad jumps were good. I measured out 6 feet. For me, was how far I did the broad jump, and that got surprisingly hard. Remember, gather yourself, use your arms. You don't have to drop down into a squat when you jump. An optimal range of motion is to have about 120 degree angle at your knee when you're dipping down to jump. So you still want your knee to be fairly open when you jump. It's gonna give you a good spring. And then make sure when you land with that squat stance. Push the knees to the outside, absorb your weight with your hips and knees as like a shock absorber. Wall ball shots, got all 21 unbroken, was pumped about that. The row, I actually only did assault bike calories because I didn't have my rower, so I did the assault bike, which was actually worse. Overhead squats weren't bad, 2 or 3 sets there. And then the snatches were brutal. My lower back was fried. I wasn't really able to push my knee too far forward. So I kind of just torched my lower back. Took me a long time to get through those when power snatch is really one of my good things. The taters, that was the first time I actually flipped it. So like flipping it became really tough. I didn't flip it last year, I just did a goblet squat, so that changed it a whole lot. And then the thrusters was absolutely brutal. Just the last set trying to max out and knock it out there. So hope you guys have fun with this one. Swings weren't bad. I forgot to talk about the swings and box jumps. Neither of those were bad, just kind of chipped through them. But the ones that I pointed out, really the Curtis P's, the wall walks, and those things that just take a long time, a lot of time under tension, were really difficult. For this workout, if you can't do Fran unbroken on thrusters, I would say you don't use 95. Or if you can do the thrusters unbroken on Fran, go for 95 to start with. But it's gonna be a really difficult workout to finish under that time cap if you're gonna do it all RX at a 95-pound barbell. It's a really heavy barbell for this workout. So definitely consider dropping down to 85, 75, even 55 for your first time. Remember, we want to try to get under that 45-minute cap and then add some weight as the year goes on. So that's what I like about this workout. Every year, you get to test yourself a little bit more, add a little bit more weight, and see if you can get through and under that 45-minute cap. So again, if you're not doing Fran unbroken, or if you're not doing with thrusters and even maybe the pull-ups, and you're not doing let's say like Isabel or Elizabeth at 135, where you're able to hang on to that barbell for a long chunk of that workout, consider dropping down a little bit. It's okay, 95 pounds again is very heavy for this workout. So scale the movements as needed. Hope you guys enjoy it. Hope you have a very happy 4th of July.